I have bipolar and I've decided that I'll never have my own kids. Well, at least bio kids. I'm totally gonna adopt when I'm ready. This isn't a video about if bipolar people should or can have kids. The fact is, a lot of people do, and they do it safely. That's just a decision that I've made myself, and I'm gonna be talking about the reasons why I've come to that decision. The first reason, and probably the main reason I'll never get pregnant, is postpartum psychosis. I know it's not a guarantee that's gonna happen. The fact that it's even a risk is good enough for me to never even touch pregnancy. I mean, I had psychosis without any crazy hormone changes, so it made me so paranoid. I was scared of everything and everyone 24/7. And I wasn't here. Like, I wasn't in the real world. And honestly, it's one of, if not the most traumatic experience I've gone through. It took a lot of work and time to, one, get stable, two, work through all the BS that I had to deal with afterwards. And I'm still working through it even to this day, 8 years later. Anything that can risk me going back to that again is a red line. Also, it's not just the psychosis, the mood shifts is just too much. When I'm depressed, I can be a danger to myself. And when I'm hypomanic, I can be destructive and do things that would just destroy my whole life. For a normal person, pregnancy and postpartum is a really high risk time mentally and physically. So imagine for someone like me who already has a condition, I feel like I don't have the best odds. And the second reason, I just don't think it's fair to put all the responsibility on my partner. If I went through with pregnancy and gave birth, the chances of my partner taking care of all the childcare is really high, and possibly even having to take care of me. I think it would be so irresponsible to put all of that on him, because putting all that stress and pushing him to that edge could really do some serious damage to our relationship. Having a newborn is already like really stressful. So imagine having to do all of that and maybe even more as a single parent, basically. When you're in a relationship and you have a kid, parenthood should be a team effort. I just feel like I can't just abandon him like that. Part of being a good partner is also knowing the limit of pushing your partner. Your expectations needs to be reasonable. I mean, he's only human. Can you imagine the stress all of that would have on anyone? I just don't want to put him in a position and make our relationship collateral damage. The next reason is probably the second biggest one, and it's the financial reality. Right now, my bipolar is relatively low maintenance. I see my doctor every 4 months, and I actually only take one single medication at a relatively low dose. Getting pregnant would change that completely. I would have to have more psychiatric monitoring, more sessions with my doctor, more check-ins. I would also probably get a lot more blood tests and ultrasounds, and very likely changes to my medication, or even stopping it completely. And if I had to come off medication, my main option is RTMS. It's when they put magnets over the areas of your brain to make changes. When I did a round of RTMS like quite a while ago, I did 4 sessions and that cost me 1,000 pounds. And that was before inflation. So a full course over the 9 months of pregnancy and maybe even for a bit after would cost me around 9,000 to 12,000 pounds. Or maybe even higher now. I don't know what the price is. That is just a cost I'm not willing to shell out. And the final reason, I don't want to pass my bipolar on to my kid. Look, I know I'm doing pretty well with my bipolar, but that doesn't mean it's gonna be the same situation for my kid. It's never a guarantee. Every person's threshold for dealing with this condition varies by like a lot. I might have a weird resilience to it that most people might not have. Even as someone who's doing well with my condition, it took a lot of work and honestly a lot of close calls. I can't blame anyone if they feel like this condition is too much to bear. It is really hard. The truth is, I just can't justify bringing a non consenting person into a life dealing with a lifelong chronic illness that will shape their entire life in ways that I can't predict or promise to protect them from. And there's also a really uncomfortable truth lying underneath. I won't be around forever. If they do inherit this condition, would they be okay after I'm gone? Without my financial help, could they afford the treatment and care that they need for this condition? I don't have any good answers for that. At the end of the day, I've always planned to adopt a child. Before I got diagnosed, the plan was always have my own bio kid and adopt another kid. So when my diagnosis came about, I didn't feel like I lost anything because I had a plan. Adoption was never an inferior choice. It had the same level and weight for me. And apart from the cost, because I know adoption does cost a lot, I'm avoiding all the other problems. So I don't really see the point of like forcing having my own bio kid because I don't really see the difference between the two. I mean, one path gets me to the point of being a parent and allowing me to be a capable parent, while the other one probably won't. So, yeah, this isn't a light decision to make, but for me personally, it just made the most sense. This is not going to be the right answer for everyone who has bipolar, but I think it's important for me to explain my decision because I don't really see a lot of people talking about choosing not to have their own kids. A lot of the advice or a lot of the opinion shared online is that bipolar shouldn't limit you from being a parent and you should go through with it. Personally, I think it's also important to share the voices of people who have decided not to go through having their own bio kids because it's very much a valid decision to make. So I hope this is giving you a more varied perspective on this topic. And if you're struggling with the decision, I want you to know that it's okay to not go through with having your own bio kid and there's other alternatives. But also don't let this deter you from having your own kid. Always consult your doctor. When I was talking about this with my own psychiatrist, he was very encouraging and he told me it's safe, it's possible, but I just decided not to because of my personal preferences. So yeah, thank you for watching my video and I really hope you enjoyed it.